What's good, fam? Drake is caught in a $1 million Houston street war after a luxury Maybach he gave Sauce Walka's baby mama ended up totaled in a junkyard. Everything started falling apart when leaked audio dropped on June 1st and 2nd of 2026. In those clips, Sauce Walka is heard making some of the most intense death threats we have ever seen in the industry. The Houston rapper straight up said he would get Drake smoked, and he promised to have people shooting at his cars because of the situation with Kiley Lossen. It is a terrible look for a global superstar to be dealing with legitimate street threats over some family drama that has nothing to do with him.
By me being a photographer or a journalist that you are, and not a rapper in the rap game that understands potential in artistry and creating shit, it took you 5 years to see what Drake seen me in 2 minutes. That's the thing about Sauce Walka. I ain't one of these old peon ass, fake ass street niggas out here that be lying. You know how every rapper get an interview and they be like, man, I ain't going off. I ain't never know I was gonna do this rap shit.
Let these niggas have the internet. We really got the streets on, get into that. Climbing shit at 17, bitch, I been at 3rd.
Reporting includes a nasty admission where Sauce Walka says he had his hoes jump Kiley instead of putting hands on her himself, and that has the whole internet looking at him crazy. Even for a guy who built a brand on pimping and that TSF lifestyle, these leaks are showing a side of him that people were not ready for. The worst part of the whole tape is when Sauce Walka starts talking about his own son and says he does not give a fuck about the baby. That comment sparked a massive wave of backlash because there are lines you just do not cross, even when the beef gets personal. People are finally waking up to the fact that the Sauce Walka movement is not just about the jewelry and the colorful hair. This is a dangerous world that is crashing right into Drake's celebrity bubble, and it shows that the boy is playing a game he cannot win.
By me being a photographer or a journalist that you are, and not a rapper in the rap game that understands potential in artistry and creating, it took you 5 years to see what Drake seen me in 2 minutes.
Yeah. It is one thing to throw subs in a song or act tough in Toronto, but catching a $1 million threat from a man admitting to organized violence is a whole different level of heat. Drake always moves like he is the king of Houston, but his habit of messing with these specific women is becoming a major liability for his safety. Fans are starting to turn on him because it feels like he is chasing a type of street cred that a billionaire should not even want. The vibe is shifting fast as people wonder why an artist of his stature is spending money on women tied to such unstable individuals. This situation makes Drake look less like a boss and more like he is desperately trying to play a character that does not fit his tax bracket. The collision between the pimping culture Sauce Walka represents and Drake's high-end world is showing the weak spots in the OVO.
That's the thing about Sauce Walka. I ain't one of these old peon ass, fake ass street niggas out here that be lying. You know how every rapper get an interview and they be like, man, I ain't going off. I ain't never know I was gonna do this rap shit.
Circle. When you decide to play in the mud, you're going to end up dirty. And right now, Drake is covered in the kind of drama that leads to real consequences. This is not just about diss tracks anymore, and the reality of this Houston situation could get very ugly very fast. Things hit a breaking point when Kiley Lossen stepped into the light to confirm everything we already suspected. Kiley is the mother of Sauce Walka's son and a big name in the adult space, and on June 2nd of 2026, she officially verified her 2024 romance with the boy. She did not just talk, because she brought the actual receipts to prove that her connection with Drake was 100% real.
My baby mama was black. She mixed, she's black and white, but no, I'm not serious, no. To a certain extent, I love black women. I fuck a black bitch, fuck with a black bitch, be cool with them all day long, but...
Lossen claimed Sauce Walka was so deep in his feelings that he actually trashed a luxury Maybach that Drake gifted her as a sign of support. She even uploaded a photo of the total car and called Walka pathetic for reacting like that to another man's generosity. It is a wild look to see a $1 million vehicle turned into scrap metal just because you can't handle your ex moving on to a bigger fish. Then on June 6th, she sat down with no jumper and explained that Drake has been doing more for her financially than the father of her own child. She told the world that Drake was even footing the bill for Sauce Walka's son, while Walka was busy telling her to go ask the Canadian rapper for help.
I really got white that gonna wash my dishes and clean my clothes and won't let me dry my body off. When you get out the towel, your baby mama or your baby mama and your kids and your girlfriend, then hey bitch, nigga don't get the flow with it, cut that up.
Beyond embarrassing for Sauce Walka to be outsourcing his daddy duties to the same man he is threatening to shoot in the streets. But do not think Drake is getting a pass here, because the public is starting to get exhausted with this recurring savior complex he keeps putting on display. People want to know why he is so obsessed with taking care of women who are clearly using him as a tool to hurt their former partners. Drake might think he looks like a hero for buying cars and paying for kids, but fans see it as a desperate move to buy loyalty in circles where he does not belong. When Sauce Walka tells his own baby mama to go hit up Drake for cash, it shows that Drake is being treated like a bank account to be exploited.
I really got white bitches that motherfucking wash my dishes and clean my clothes and won't let me dry my body off. When you get out the towel, your baby mama or your baby mama and your kids and your girlfriend, then, hey, bitch ass nigga, don't get the flow with it, cut that up.
The internet is turning on the boy because this whole vibe feels predatory and calculated instead of coming from a genuine place of kindness. You cannot claim to be the biggest artist in the world and then spend your time paying the bills for your rivals while they plot your downfall. The gap between Drake's financial help and the literal death threats coming from the other side makes the OVO camp look like they are playing a dangerous game. This Maybach situation is a symbol of $1 million trap that is destroying Drake's reputation with the people who used to have his back. Sauce Walka showed us exactly what his intentions were when he dropped a brand new single called Baby Mama Drama just 2 days after that audio leaked.
When you speak of Atlanta, you speaking of only the best and you speaking of Luda. Ooh. Got 2 baby mamas, a wife and 4 kids. I always been a straight shooter.
He put the track out through Empire Distribution on June 3rd of 2026 to try and cash in on all the negative energy and the viral threats. The song goes after both Drake and Adam 22, and Walka tried to act like the whole leak was just a smart marketing play for his music. The hip-hop community was not feeling the narrative at all, and the feedback he got back was honestly some of the most brutal I have ever seen. Over on Hot New Hip Hop, the fans gave that track a terrible rating of 2.06 out of 5 stars. Most of the comments were calling it nasty work to use a domestic dispute and his own flesh and blood as a way to get some promo. It shows a level of desperation that people are tired of, because using your family's trauma for a few extra streams is a bottom tier move for any artist. Walka tried to save face in a follow-up video by saying he actually sent Kiley to Drake and that he is not even jealous of that OVO money.
Me, Tay, BJ, sitting back, sipping trips, Maybach grind, and we sip niggas rent. Broke ass off saying, got a pot of piss, I'm cute 50, got my name hit niggas in they shit. Free keys, we the reason why you hold me in the dick.
You missed the complete concept that each car is a full fucking team, and without any one of these pieces of the team not working on your car, what does your car do? Break down.
He even addressed the Maybach in the song and claimed that the Houston hierarchy will always be above any pop star trying to buy their way into the culture. Even though the music is flopping hard, the intent is clear, and it shows how toxic this whole situation has become for every single person involved. Sauce Walka is trying to flip the script and act like he is the one pulling the strings, but the fans are seeing right through the pivot and calling him out. Before we move on and see how Drake basically walked into a Houston trap of his own making, tell me if Sauce Walka is really the one pulling strings, or if this is just cap to cover up the fact that his music is flopping. Tell me in the comments. No cap. While you at it, like and subscribe. Let's continue. Looking at the reality of this disaster, it is clear that Drake walked right into a pimp versus pop star trap of his own making. That Captain Save a BM persona finally hit a wall so high that no amount of money or #1 records can help him get over it. Drake might still dominate the streaming charts and the sales numbers, but he is losing the battle for respect by trying to play in the high-stakes streets of Houston. Back in June of 2026, he dropped a track called Janice Shut the Fuck Up, where he threw some light shots about doing the sauce and the spill. Those bars were a clear shot at the TSF movement, but you cannot win a street war with puns when the other side is talking about lead flying at your cars.
You missed the complete concept that each car is a full fucking team, and without any one of these pieces of the team not working on your car, what does your car do? Break down.
This beef likely signals the end of Drake being untouchable in Texas, since Walka moved the goalpost from rap talent to physical safety. People are not jumping on the Sauce Walka bandwagon. They are just realizing that Drake's choice in friends has become a major liability for his brand. It looks completely reckless to be playing games with people who have nothing to lose while he has everything on the line. Seeing the future of his career in the South is getting easier because he clearly lost the protection he used to get from the real power players. His need to be a savior for every woman involved in another man's drama is backfiring. and could permanently wreck his street reputation. Fans are starting to see these moves as a desperate play to stay relevant while the culture moves away from his specific brand of celebrity. Moving like a pop star in a pimp's world eventually leads to a situation that money cannot fix, which is exactly what happened when that Maybach got turned into scrap metal.
Let these niggas have the internet. We really got the streets on, get into that. Climbing shit at 17, bitch, I been in third.
Nobody sees Drake as a boss anymore. They see a mark who is getting used for his money while catching threats from the people he tried to outshine. This messy chapter in his career will only get worse as more details about his Houston connections surface. On June 3rd, Drake's right-hand man Chubbs jumped into damage control mode with a social media post that tried to brush everything off. He basically labeled Sauce Walka as just another clout chaser who was desperate for a way to stay relevant in the industry. The OVO camp usually likes to act like they are way above the drama, but that dismissive energy felt completely wrong this time because the threats were actually serious. You really cannot call a man a clout chaser when he is making detailed threats about shooting up your motorcade while admitting to attacking the mother of his child. Even though the camp wants to act like the noise in Houston does not bother them, fans see that silence as a sign that Drake has no real way to handle the danger. When that Janet Shut the Fuck Up track finally hit the streets, it definitely did not have the massive impact Drake was looking for during this disaster. Most people saw those lyrics as a weak and disappointing attempt to deal with a man who is promising real violence by using nothing but clever wordplay and light jabs. You might be the best writer on the planet, but you cannot use a metaphor to stop a bullet from hitting your motorcade.
You missed the complete concept that each car is a full functioning fucking team. And without any one of these pieces of the team not working on your car, what does your car do? Break down.
Disconnect is making Drake look incredibly vulnerable right now. This whole situation makes people wonder if the OVO team even understands the level of heat they are dealing with down in Houston. Things took a turn for the worse after Kiley Lossen sat down for that No Jumper interview on June 6th because she basically confirmed the idea that Drake is just a personal bank account. She told the entire world that Drake is the one paying for her and her son, while the actual father is out here making diss tracks and threats on the internet. This makes it look like Drake is being targeted by women who know he has a major savior complex and are happy to let him fund their entire lifestyle. There is a very thin line between being a generous guy and being a total mark, and the public is definitely putting Drake in that second category right now. We are seeing a massive shift in how people view the boy because the days of him being seen as a generous superstar are officially over. People are starting to see his relationships with these women as either predatory or just plain desperate instead of some kind of act of kindness. It is a terrible look for a man at the top of the game to be catching heat from street rappers over women he barely even knows like that. The culture is turning on him because they are tired of this same old pattern where he tries to play the hero in the middle of a toxic relationship.
You talking about feelings and personal. I don't have relationships for fun.
So
I've never done that in my life as a child. I really got bitches fucking wash my dishes and clean my clothes and won't let me dry my body off. When you get out the towel, your baby mama, your baby mama, and your kids and your girlfriend, then you, hey, bitch ass nigga, don't get the flow with it, cut that up.
Sauce Walka might be the obvious villain in that leaked audio because of how he treats his family. But Drake is the one taking $1 million hit to his reputation. He is losing respect from the very culture he claims to represent by getting involved in these low-level disputes that should be way beneath his status. His reputation is suffering because he has turned his entire brand into a liability, and that is a cost you cannot fix with a wire transfer or another luxury car. Before we see how Drake tries to recover from this Houston disaster, I need to know what you all think about his judgment. Tell me if you think he is really trying to be a hero or if he is just acting as a bank account for women who want to get back at their exes. Let me know in the comments. No cap. While you are at it, go ahead and like and subscribe.